101 pounds of fun. That's my little honey bun. Get a load of honey bun.
Mitzi Gaynor stole the show with Honey Bun in the 1958 film South Pacific. All these years later, she's still a crowd pleaser.
The set of South Pacific was nothing short of chaos. Mitzi Gaynor, the star of the film, found herself dancing on scorching sand, dealing with toxic shampoo, and even dodging a real-life tsunami. But that's not the half of it. At 92, she's finally breaking her silence, revealing the behind-the-scenes drama that no one knew about. Drama that included Elizabeth Taylor's total breakdown and the shocking reason the movie almost never made it to the big screen. Mitzi Gaynor's story begins far from the tropical shores of South Pacific. Born in Chicago on September 4, 1931, as Francesca Marlene de von Gerber, her name was as grand as her Hungarian heritage. With a musician father and a dancer mother, Mitzi was practically destined for the stage. Her childhood, as an only child, was filled with music, rhythm, and an unmistakable ambition to perform. Even during the harsh realities of the Great Depression, her family's dream of a brighter future never dimmed. As the Gerber family moved from Elgin, Illinois to Detroit and finally to Los Angeles when Mitzi was just 11, the stage was quite literally set for her big break. From a young age, Mitzi showed incredible promise. By 11, she was rigorously training in ballet. This wasn't just an after-school activity. It was a calling. At 13, her ambition led her to lie about her age to snag a role with the Los Angeles Civic Light Opera Company. She told them she was 16, and it worked. Her first role in Song Without Words wasn't just a stepping stone, it was proof that talent, when paired with grit, could open doors. Her journey on the stage continued with performances in Roberta, The Fortune Teller, and Naughty Marietta. Each performance wasn't merely a job, it was a masterclass. She learned to captivate an audience, to blend singing and dancing seamlessly, and, most importantly, to turn every performance into an experience. With each role, she honed her craft, building the foundation for a career that would soon skyrocket. But not all of Mitzi's early experiences were glamorous. Her first ever performance at age 7 during a dance recital was a disaster. Little Mitzi, under the bright stage lights and overwhelmed by nerves, had a small accident, right there on stage. Most children would have fled and never looked back. Mitzi did run off, but only to gather herself. She wiped her tears, applied a bit of lipstick, because even at 7 she understood the power of confidence, and asked if she could go back on. The audience didn't just applaud her performance, they cheered for her bravery. At 9 years old, Mitzi experienced a life-changing moment. She sat in a theater, watching Carmen Miranda perform. The music, the colors, the sheer energy of it all left her spellbound. Mitzi wasn't just watching a show, she was envisioning her future. She didn't want to be in the audience. She wanted to be on the stage, captivating the crowd, leaving them as mesmerized as she was that night. By 13, she was doing just that. Her performance in Naughty Marietta with the Los Angeles Civic Light Opera Company caught the eye of a talent scout from 20th Century Fox. The audition that followed changed her life forever. At just 17 years old, Mitzi signed a 7-year contract, officially stepping into the glamorous yet challenging world of Hollywood's golden age. Studio executives loved everything about her: her vibrant energy, her effortless dancing, and the undeniable way she lit up every room. But there was just one problem: her name. Francesca Gerber simply didn't have the dazzle of a true Hollywood star. The studio wanted something catchy, something that would linger in audiences' minds long after the credits rolled. Mitzi was already a nickname she often used, and when paired with Gaynor, a name reminiscent of silent film legend Janet Gaynor, It struck the perfect balance between glamour and approachability. And just like that, Mitzi Gaynor was born. Soon, her name was shining bright on theater marquees across the country, signaling the arrival of Hollywood's next big thing. Her first film role came in My Blue Heaven, 1950, a lively musical featuring Betty Grable and Dan Daly. Though her part as a dancer was small, Mitzi stood out. Singing Live Hard, Work Hard, Love Hard, she brought a confidence that turned heads. She wasn't just another face in the ensemble. She had that it factor. Fox saw it too. By the age of 19, Mitzi had already transitioned from supporting roles to leading parts. A remarkable feat in an era filled with larger-than-life stars. Her first major starring role came with Golden Girl, 1951, where she portrayed Lotta Crabtree, a real-life entertainer from the Gold Rush era. The film had it all: comedy, drama, and grand musical numbers. The song never even snagged an Academy Award nomination. Critics couldn't help but praise Mitzi's boundless energy, and audiences fell in love with her. She had charm, she had presence, and most importantly, she had that spark that made her impossible to ignore. Riding the wave of success, Fox positioned her in more starring roles. In Bloodhounds of Broadway, 1952, she brought humor and heart to the character Emily Ann Steadley. The film allowed her to showcase not just her comedic timing, but also her musical prowess, delivering memorable numbers like By the Low. The following year, she took on the daring role of Ava Tanguay, a vaudeville star known for her outrageous performances in The I Don't Care Girl, 1953. Mitzi poured her all into the role, and it paid off. The film pulled in $1.25 million at the box office, a figure worth over $13 million today. Mitzi was unstoppable. She wasn't just a talented performer, she possessed an energy that was infectious. Whether she was dancing across the screen or sharing scenes with Hollywood heavyweights, her presence was undeniable. When she starred in There's No Business Like Show Business, 1954, she found herself surrounded by legends: Marilyn Monroe, Ethel Merman, and Donald O'Connor. It was Fox's first musical shot in CinemaScope and Deluxe Color, a visual feast filled with show-stopping performances. Gaynor played Katie Donahue, a member of a vaudeville family, and from her very first scene, she brought a brightness that elevated the film. One of her standout moments came when she performed A Sailor's Not a Sailor Till a Sailor's Been Tattooed alongside Ethel Merman. The number was brimming with fun, high energy, and Mitzi's signature charm. Critics often drew comparisons between her and Monroe. While Monroe's allure was sultry and magnetic, Mitzi offered something different: an effervescent warmth that drew audiences in, making every dance not just a performance, but a story. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Behind the scenes, challenges loomed. Monroe, known for her unpredictable behavior, often showed up late to set, testing the patience of cast and crew alike. Yet, despite the delays, Mitzi later acknowledged that Monroe worked hard, putting in the effort to perfect every scene. The film went on to become a commercial hit, raking in $5 million at the box office. More importantly, it cemented Gaynor's status as a performer who could hold her own alongside Hollywood's finest. Deciding to leave 20th Century Fox was a gamble, but it was a bold move that opened new doors. By 1957, she was headlining major films at Paramount Pictures, showcasing her versatility and range. In The Joker is Wild, she starred opposite Frank Sinatra, playing Martha Stewart, the love interest of Sinatra's character, Joe E. Louis. The movie was a biopic about a nightclub singer turned comedian whose life was riddled with hardship and heartbreak. Sinatra delivered one of his most poignant performances, and Mitzi brought a delicate warmth to their scenes. Their chemistry felt genuine, enhancing the film's emotional depth. That same year, she took on a role that would define her career. The film was Less Girls, Gene Kelly's final MGM musical, and Gaynor played Joy Henderson, a character brimming with charm and comedic wit. The story revolved around three dancers, each sharing their own version of past events in a legal dispute. For Gaynor, it was an opportunity to showcase not just her dancing, but her comedic timing, especially in a playful biker-themed number alongside Kelly. Keeping pace with Kelly's sharp choreography was no small feat, yet Gaynor made it look effortless, proving she could hold her own with one of Hollywood's greatest dancers. But as remarkable as Les Girls was, it was only a prelude to the role that would truly cement Mitzi Gaynor as a star. Hollywood was abuzz with anticipation over the casting of Nellie Forbush in the film adaptation of South Pacific. The Broadway version had been a massive success, with Mary Martin's portrayal of Nellie becoming iconic. Martin had won a Tony Award for the role, but by the time Hollywood came calling, she was in her 40s. Too old, the producers felt, to convincingly play the young, spirited Navy nurse. And so began one of the most intense casting searches of the era. Hollywood's brightest stars lined up for a chance at the coveted role. Elizabeth Taylor, with her unparalleled beauty and magnetic screen presence, seemed like a natural choice, until the singing began. Despite her star power, Taylor lacked the vocal chops and dance skills needed for a full-blown musical. Another strong contender was Doris Day, whose musical talent was undeniable. She had the voice, but according to producers, she lacked the spontaneous and lively energy needed to truly embody Nellie's character. As Hollywood's heavyweights stumbled, an unexpected contender emerged: Mitzi Gaynor. Unlike Taylor and Day, Gaynor was a triple threat. She could sing, dance, and act, all without the need for a voice double. Though not as widely known as some of her competitors, Gaynor had already proven her talents in musicals like Anything Goes and Les Girls. What set her apart, however, was not just her talent, but her determination. While others hesitated, Gaynor saw the role as an opportunity to prove herself. She didn't just audition once, she auditioned twice, demonstrating a tenacity that few in Hollywood could match. Her first screen test took place at the Beverly Hills Hotel Ballroom, right in front of Oscar Hammerstein II. Gaynor delivered spirited performances of Honey Bun and a cockeyed optimist, capturing Nellie's infectious charm. During her second test, she performed I'm in Love with a Wonderful Guy, showing off her vocal strength and emotional depth. It was clear to everyone present that she was not merely acting, she embodied Nellie Forbush. Despite winning the role, Gaynor still had one skeptic to win over: Richard Rodgers himself. He had always maintained strict standards for casting his musicals and wasn't entirely convinced that Gaynor's voice could meet those expectations. But Gaynor was relentless. She poured herself into rehearsals, working closely with director Joshua Logan. Her hard work paid off. When she finally performed I'm Gonna Wash That Man Right Out of My Hair during rehearsals, Rodgers' doubts melted away. Gaynor wasn't just playing the part. She was Nellie. The filming of South Pacific in Kauai, Hawaii, was anything but easy. The set was plagued by extreme heat, challenging conditions, and the unpredictability of filming on location. Yet, Gaynor's dedication never wavered. Unlike many of her contemporaries, she insisted on singing all her own songs, a rarity in an era where lip-syncing to pre-recorded tracks was common practice. Her authenticity added a layer of realism to the film, helping audiences connect with her character on a deeper level. Her on-screen chemistry with Rossano Brazzi, who played Emile Debec, only grew stronger as production continued. Their romance felt genuine, the product of real effort and mutual respect behind the scenes. Taking on a role made legendary by Mary Martin was a daunting task, and many believed no actress could live up to Martin's Broadway performance. But Gaynor didn't try to imitate her predecessor. Instead, she brought a fresh energy to Nellie, playful, warm, and full of life. When South Pacific hit theaters in 1958, it was an instant sensation. Audiences adored Gaynor's performance, and the film became one of the biggest box office hits of the year. Even Richard Rodgers, who had once been her toughest critic, publicly admitted that casting Gaynor had been the right decision. Filming South Pacific on Kauai in 1957 was supposed to be a dream come true. The island's lush mountains, golden beaches, and vibrant tropical backdrop were perfect for bringing the beloved Broadway musical to life. But as soon as the cameras started rolling, the production descended into chaos. The unpredictable weather turned every shoot into a gamble. One moment, the skies were postcard perfect. The next, rain poured down, drenching sets and sending the crew scrambling for cover. Kauai is one of the wettest places on Earth, and it quickly became clear that nature had no intention of cooperating. Maintaining continuity between scenes became a nightmare. Sharp-eyed viewers can still spot the differences in the "There is nothing like a dame" sequence, where bright, sunny shots abruptly shift to darker, overcast moments. The constant weather changes created a patchwork of lighting that even Hollywood magic couldn't fully smooth over. Then, as if the weather wasn't challenging enough, disaster struck. On March 9, 1957, a massive tsunami hit Kauai's north shore. The devastation was immediate. Homes were destroyed, the Kalahi Bridge collapsed, and key filming locations were cut off. Trucks carrying essential equipment were stranded, forcing production to halt. For days, cast and crew were left in limbo, waiting for roads to clear and supplies to arrive. Even before the tsunami, just getting to the island had been a struggle. In 1957, flights to Kauai were rare, and many crew members had to wait in Honolulu for days before they could even reach the set. Despite the setbacks, director Joshua Logan refused to let the production sink. When outdoor shots were impossible, the team improvised with matte paintings and process shots to fill in the gaps. The delays bled 20th Century Fox's budget dry, costing the studio thousands of dollars. But in the end, the gamble paid off. The film's breathtaking visuals not only made South Pacific a hit, but also transformed Kauai into a go-to location for Hollywood. Decades later, Jurassic Park and Pirates of the Caribbean would film in the very same landscapes. For Mitzi Gaynor, the role of Nellie Forbush was both a blessing and a challenge. Known for her dancing in musicals like There's No Business Like Show Business, Gaynor found herself in a role that required more singing and acting than dancing. The choreography emphasized large group numbers, leaving little room for solo showcases. Shooting on Kauai's beaches, particularly at Lumahai Beach, only added to the difficulty. The uneven sand and hidden rocks made even simple dance steps hazardous. Despite her frustration, Gaynor's infectious energy shone through. Audiences fell in love with her portrayal of Nellie, even if she privately wished for more opportunities to show off her dance skills. Her most iconic scene, "I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair," became legendary, but it almost didn't happen. The number was filmed under a makeshift outdoor shower at Lumahai Beach, but the shampoo used on set burned Gaynor's eyes so severely that production had to stop. A quick-thinking crew member drove a 2-hour round trip to buy Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo, and the scene was saved. The water itself posed another challenge. Despite the tropical location, it was freezing cold. Take after take, Gaynor endured icy showers while maintaining a cheerful, carefree demeanor. The technicalities of the scene were just as challenging. Gaynor had to synchronize her movements with the music, while ensuring her hair lathered correctly in every shot. Even Oscar Hammerstein II had reservations about the scene's appeal, doubting whether a woman washing her hair could hold an audience's attention. But when the cameras rolled, Gaynor's charm erased all doubts. Her natural vivacity turned a simple shower into one of the most beloved moments in musical film history. Off-screen, Mitzi Gaynor shared a natural and effortless chemistry with her co-star Rossano Brazzi. Their romance in South Pacific felt authentic, and much of that magic stemmed from their playful friendship on set. Brazzi, who portrayed the dashing Émile Debec, spoke limited English at the time, and his singing voice was dubbed by opera singer Giorgio Tozzi. Initially hesitant to take the role because of this, Brazzi's suave screen presence ultimately made him a perfect fit. Gaynor would often tease him about his thick Italian accent, while Brazzi would joke about her boundless energy. Their light-hearted banter not only made the long days on set more enjoyable, but also translated beautifully on screen. Even when audiences later discovered that Brazzi wasn't the voice behind Some Enchanted Evening, it didn't matter. The scene remained one of the most romantic moments in musical film history. For Mitzi Gaynor, South Pacific felt like the role that would redefine her career. The 1958 film was a massive success, earning over $36 million worldwide. She was nominated for a Golden Globe and stood out as the only lead actor to sing her own songs. But despite the film's triumph, South Pacific marked one of Gaynor's final major movie roles. Afterward, she appeared in just 3 more films: Happy Anniversary, 1959, Surprise Package, 1960, and For Love or Money, 1963, none of which were musicals. Reflecting on this shift, Gaynor admitted that she was perhaps better suited for live performances than for the silver screen. While Hollywood may not have offered her the roles she dreamed of, Gaynor was not about to fade into obscurity. Instead, she pivoted to a new stage: television. The 1960s ushered in a golden era of variety shows, and Gaynor became a regular presence, bringing her dynamic blend of singing, dancing, and comedy into millions of living rooms. She was a true entertainer, and audiences loved her. One of her brightest moments came on February 16, 1964. That night, Gaynor headlined The Ed Sullivan Show during the Beatles' second U.S. appearance. More than 70 million people tuned in, and while Beatlemania swept the nation, it was Gaynor who had top billing. She performed Too Darn Hot, The More I See You, and a medley of Birth of the Blues and When the Saints Go Marching In. Even with the Fab Four in the building, Gaynor held the stage with remarkable poise. Backstage, she witnessed firsthand how quickly the industry was changing. The Beatles were young, fresh, and rewriting the rules. Her own choreographer mistook Paul McCartney for a child, thanks to his boyish face. But Gaynor wasn't intimidated. She adapted. She went on to host her own television specials, blending music, dance, and humor in a way that felt fresh and exciting. These specials became hugely popular, earning Emmy nominations and proving that Gaynor could thrive in any format. She didn't stop there. By the late 1960s, she had transformed into one of Las Vegas's most sought-after entertainers. Her nightclub act was unlike anything else. Performing at iconic venues like the Flamingo and the Riviera, Gaynor was reportedly making $45,000 a week, an astronomical sum for the time. But she delivered a show worth every penny. Her performances were dazzling, elevated by legendary designer Bob Mackey's stunning costumes, which became part of her signature style. critics couldn't get enough. They called her shows flawless and devastating. Life magazine put it best. Gaynor had started at the top and just kept climbing higher. In 1970, she made history, becoming the first woman to win the Las Vegas Governor's Trophy for Star Entertainer of the Year. She had conquered film, television, and now the biggest live stage in America. While Hollywood had moved on from the grand musicals of the 1950s, Mitzi Gaynor proved there were still countless ways to shine. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, Gaynor's television specials solidified her status as a household name. Over the course of 9 shows, she earned an incredible 16 Emmy nominations, showcasing her unmatched talent as an all-around entertainer. She could sing, dance, and bring a room to life like no one else. 2 of Mitzi Gaynor's television specials stood out as true cultural landmarks. Mitzi, a tribute to the American housewife, in 1974 brought a playful and witty take on domestic life, mixing humor with elaborate musical numbers that showcased Gaynor's incredible versatility. Then, in 1978, Mitzi, What's Hot, What's Not, offered a lively look at changing trends through the lens of music and dance, proving once again that Gaynor was not only a performer, but a keen observer of the times. A huge part of Gaynor's success on television came from her partnership with the legendary designer Bob Mackie. Known as the Sultan of Sequins, Mackie had an unparalleled talent for creating costumes that were as dazzling as the performances themselves. Their collaboration began in 1966, when Mackie designed for her Las Vegas stage show. From that moment on, he became an essential part of her image, crafting hundreds of stunning outfits over the years. His costumes were bold, colorful, and covered in intricate beadwork and sequins that sparkled under the stage lights. More than just clothing, they were extensions of her performance, designed to move with her and enhance every dance number. Mackie's work on Mitzi, Roarin' in the 20s in 1976, even earned him an Emmy, further cementing their status as a creative powerhouse. Despite her success on television, Gaynor never lost her passion for live theater. In 1989, at nearly 60 years old, she stepped back onto the stage for a national tour of Anything Goes, taking on the lead role of Reno Sweeney. Some questioned whether she could still handle the demands of a big musical, but Gaynor not only met expectations, she shattered them. The tour kicked off at the Orange County Performing Arts Center on September 12, 1989, and traveled across North America, with stops in cities like Seattle, Toronto, and Nashville. Each performance ended with standing ovations, proving that her star power was as strong as ever. It wasn't just a return to the stage, it was a testament to her enduring talent and work ethic, a reminder that true performers never lose their shine. Mitzi Gaynor's personal life was as steadfast as her professional one. She married Jack Bean on November 18, 1954, in San Francisco. At the time, Gaynor was stepping away from her contract with 20th Century Fox and navigating a rapidly changing Hollywood landscape. Bean, too, made a bold move, leaving his high-profile job at MCA to start his own firm, Bean & Rose Public Relations. His first and most important client? His new wife. Bean had an eye for Gaynor's potential that went beyond the silver screen. He saw her not just as a film star, but as an entertainer with the charisma to captivate live audiences. Under his guidance, Gaynor transitioned from movies to live performances and television specials. With Bean managing her career, Gaynor found tremendous success in musical revues, which became major hits in Las Vegas, Canada, and Australia. Their partnership wasn't just professional, but deeply personal. Unlike many Hollywood couples, they avoided the red carpet and preferred a quieter, more intimate life. They turned their Beverly Hills home into a retreat for close friends rather than a stage for Hollywood power plays. Their marriage, which lasted over 5 decades, was built on love, trust, and an extraordinary balance between personal and professional life. The couple never had children, a choice Gaynor said they never regretted. Their bond was rooted in deep understanding and unwavering support. "He was my champion," Gaynor once said, capturing the essence of their relationship. Bean had left behind a promising career at MCA to dedicate himself entirely to hers, a testament to his faith in her talent and potential. Thanks to his vision and guidance, Gaynor's career thrived long after Hollywood's golden age had passed. Her musical revues became major events, many of which were turned into popular TV specials during the late 1960s and early 1970s. These specials not only showcased her talent, but also proved that Gaynor could still command a stage and captivate a national television audience. Whether in front of a live crowd or on the screen, Mitzi Gaynor never failed to deliver, reminding everyone that true talent, combined with hard work and a bit of sparkle, never goes out of style.